guys can come in if you want. If you can hear me, can you guys hear me way back there?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, welcome everyone. Glad you came. Glad you discovered LeMons. Welcome to your new addiction. It's going to cost you all your money and most of your free time. There you go. So, my name is Stephen McDaniel. My official job title at the 24 Hours of LeMons is the Chief Ball Buster. I only do that if I have to. I will do it, and I'm very good at it. But we want to avoid that, so that's why we're here now. Because I want to make sure that you guys understand all the rules. You have a chance to ask questions and get clarification on anything you don't understand. That way, when you screw up, and I put my boot in your hands, you got no excuse because I know you knew what you were supposed to do. Okay? Alright, so LeMons is not your typical racing series. How many of you here have never turned a lap on a racetrack before? Raise your hands. Really? So few? Bunch of liars. We'll see tomorrow. So we do have a lot of first-time drivers in LeMons. We have a lot of people who should probably never be allowed on a racetrack, but we allow them anyway, because we're free-spirited that way. But LeMons is not your typical racing series. This is endurance racing. This is not NASCAR. Our races are 4 to 5 times longer than your average NASCAR race. So, you know, the Daytona 1500, the Daytona 2000, that's what you're looking at. This is all day and all day tomorrow. This is not every single lap, every single corner, fighting for every inch of racetrack. That is how you end up in the penalty box, which will be right here tomorrow. And that is how you end up parked in the paddock with your thumb in your butt. Your race car is perfectly fine because you can't control yourself. Seriously, that's what's going to happen to you. You go out there and you think, oh, I'm a real race car driver and I'm going to go fast. And you're going to do that for about half a lap. You're going to end up in the dirt or you're going to bounce off somebody because you don't have the skills nor the experience to do what we are doing here. You will get that eventually. Maybe you, the first time you ever get in a race car, you'll be the best driver that ever came. Probably not. So, the key here is patience. Patience and more patience. When you get out on the racetrack, we'll talk a little more about etiquette later, but get rid of all your dreams of hauling ass every single lap, every single corner, and dominating. There's only one team here, maybe 2 or 3, that will actually do anything close to dominating this weekend. They will win their class, and they will take their little trophy, and they will go home. The rest of you are going to break your cars, you're going to end up in the dirt, you're going to get flag flagged, you're going to dress up like a girl, have to go read poetry to somebody on the other side of the paddock, because you can't control yourselves. And poetry is wonderful. That is. But racing cars is better than poetry. If you behave yourselves and you're patient and you do the right things and make the right decisions, you'll be out there racing your car and not dressing up like a girl reading poetry. Okay? So, we don't care about him. I don't even know who that is. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is paddock safety. You guys know what the paddock is? That's that area up there where your cars are parked right now. That is the dangerous place here in this facility. It is very, very uncommon that anybody gets injured on the racetrack in a LeMons race. Incredibly uncommon. It barely ever happens. People get hurt in the paddock every single day. Who's hurt themselves today in the paddock? You bled on your car, you've been burned, you dropped shit on your foot, you tripped over things. The paddock is the dangerous place. Here's how you avoid hurting yourself in the paddock. Number one, it's a good idea to designate one person, one member of your team as the paddock nanny. Now their job is to keep you from doing stupid things like grinding or welding when you have 20 gallons of fuel stored 3 feet away. We don't like to see that. It happens, but we don't want to see that. Keeping the ground picked up, cleaning up the spills, making sure that your team is all hydrated. That's very important. You are going to be amazed how quickly you get exhausted and dehydrated doing this. It is incredibly difficult physically. And your heart rate's going to be up, you're going to be breathing hard because you're not used to it. You're going to dry out incredibly fast. So it's a good idea to designate somebody as your paddock nanny to keep mind. Make sure your fuel is stored in a safe place. Make sure you're not grinding and welding near that fuel storage safe place. Make sure you're hydrating, cleaning up your fuel spills, and just keeping everything clean and organized. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is. Trust me. The paddock is where you're very likely to get hurt, not on the racetrack. So keep that in mind and pick that person out. It doesn't have to be a driver. It can be your little sister, it can be your wife, your girlfriend, your grandmother, it doesn't matter. There you go. So, keep that in mind. Jack stands, always use your jack stands when you're working on your car. Make sure you have your fuel stored somewhere correctly. Make sure that you don't have transmissions and shit just laying all over the ground to trip on, things like that. So keep that in mind. Other things about the paddock, the speed limit in the paddock is 10 miles an hour. Now I know to you that doesn't sound like anything because you have never in your life driven 10 miles an hour. 10 miles an hour is like the size of the universe. You have absolutely no concept of it because you never do it. You've all driven through a 20 mile an hour school zone, yeah? You know how incredibly painfully slow that is? 10 miles an hour is half that speed. It is a brisk walk. It is first gear, creeping ass slow as you can possibly go. We do take that seriously because you race on the racetrack, not in the paddock. We fuel in the hot pit. If you come into the paddock, you're already screwed. Don't make it worse by driving through here at 40 miles an hour, endangering people's lives. There's children here, dogs, stupid people, people with grease in their eyes, they can't see where they're going. There's lots of things here you need to look out for. When you come through that gate, it's 10 miles an hour. As slow as you can go. Creepy slow all the way through the paddock all the time. Now, if you break that rule and you get caught, you, the individual in the car, most of your penalties here are going to be team penalties. We count it against your whole team. This one's not. It wasn't Jack that was doing it. It was Joe. Joe's an asshole. So I'm going to pull Joe out of the car. I'm going to make him go stand at track out with a big sign that says 10 miles an hour for half an hour. That's what's going to happen to you if you're speeding in my paddock. And if you do it multiple times, I'll put you on the trailer and send you home. I'm not playing. I'll bust balls around here. That's one thing you will not do is speed in my paddock. We clear on that?
Yep.
If you don't know what 10 miles an hour is, come see me later, I'll show you. The other thing, your domesticated dogs and your feral children. It is a good idea to leave both of them at home if you can, especially your dogs. We have dogs here a lot. If you keep them on a leash and they're well behaved, that's fine. We have had people get bitten by dogs in the paddock. If you bring a dog here and it bites somebody, you, your dog, and your whole team are going home. Simple as that. Up to you. You can bring them. They're well behaved. You keep them on a leash. You keep them somewhere safe. That's fine. Bring your dog. If your dog's out running around the paddock, shitting in places or biting people, you're going to go home with your dog very quickly. Same thing goes for your feral children. We are family friendly here. And you are welcome to bring your children. And as long as, just like your dogs, they're somewhere safe, they're being supervised, and they're not running amok through the paddock, then we will leave you and your feral children alone. If your feral children are riding their bikes and skateboards and crap all through the paddock at high speeds, not paying attention, throwing water balloons, doing stupid stuff, which is their kids, that's what they're supposed to do. This is not a playground, this is a racetrack. Control your children. If your children are being miscreants, we will flag you from the racetrack and bring you into the paddock and park you and bring your whole team to have a conversation about your children. We've done it before. The last time, the car was running third overall. They were third place overall in the entire race. And their children were riding around in the paddock on bicycles at high speeds, throwing water balloons at each other. And one of them actually got hit by a race car. They come flying around the corner, head-on collision into a race car on a bicycle. So we flagged them, we brought them into the paddock, we had a nice long talk, they went back out like 50th. Control your children. Alright, so that's paddock safety. Again, this is the dangerous part out there. Make sure you got your stuff in order. 10 miles an hour on the paddock, incredibly slow. Mind your children and your dogs. Questions on any of that?
Anybody want to buy some children?
Yes, so 1 hour after checkers, we have a no stunting, no sploding rule. Sploding is basically fireworks. Stunting is anything to do with you being stupid. All motorized vehicles, no race cars, no scooters, no bikes, no golf carts, no motorized vehicles, except for exiting or entering the track in your street car, your legal vehicle. Now, if you have to crank up your race car and drive it very slowly for a short distance to check something, we're not going to bust your balls. If you're out there making all kinds of noise or doing anything remotely close to something stupid, we're going to bust your balls severely. So no stunt, no sploding. 1 hour after checkers, you behave yourselves. Go drink beer and behave.
We can like drink and scream, right?
You can drink and scream all you want. Yeah. Okay. Paddock safety. Cool on all that? Is everybody clear? No questions?
I got a question.
Yep.
We've got like fueling in the car going on, like anywhere, what kind of I don't mean what's going on during the race. I mean,
We will cover fueling right now. And so fueling, we will be fueling on the hot pit here. Down here on the other side of that wall, you'll basically be about there, down to just short of the out. You'll be right on the other side of this round wall, this base wall. When you are fueling, some places we fuel in the paddock. You actually drive back to your paddock space. It's about half and half. Some places we fuel in the paddock, some places we use the hot pit. Here we are using the hot pit. So fueling is something that we take very seriously. It is something that's very dangerous. You are dumping large quantities of explosive liquids into a hot race car, and it is very easy to make mistakes that lead to large spills, possibly even fires. So we do take these very seriously. The fueling rules are very simple. You need a minimum of 2 people. You can have more people, but everybody that crosses that wall must be in full gear. Helmet on, visor down, gloves, shoes, everything, no mechs. You don't need your collar, your neck support, unless you're getting in the car. But everybody that crosses that wall is in full gear, head to toe. When the fueling is actually going on, that involves 2 people, the fueler and the fireman. The fueler dumps the jugs into the car. The fireman holds a fire extinguisher 6 feet away, aimed directly at your friend. The thing you are there to prevent, if you are the fireman, is not your race car burning up, it's your friend burning up. Let the car burn and make more cars. Your job is to stand right here with the hose, point it right at your friend, and if the fire starts, you put him out, and then you run away. That's all you do. So that's your job as the fireman. If you are the fireman, nobody's talking to you, nobody's messing with you. You are standing 6 feet away, the hose in your hand, the pin is out of the extinguisher, your hand is on the handle, you are ready to spray. And that's all you do. Okay? The fueler will dump the jugs, you get the jugs dumped, you put the cap back on, you do whatever you need to do to the car. When the fueling is between the time you take the cap off till you put the cap back on. During that time, no one touches the car, except the fueler if he has to touch it with this. But nobody is adjusting your seat belts, nobody's changing the memory card in your camera, nobody's putting things in the car that they shouldn't be. Nobody is within 10 feet of the car, except for the fueler and the fireman. Put the cap back on, and then you can strap in your new driver, you can add water to your cool suit, and that is it. That is the only work you can do on the hot pit. You put fuel in the car, you put ice or water in your cool system, and you strap in your driver and send him on his way.
Steve, so if we have to change tires,
If you have to change tires, add oil, check your tire pressure, do anything that is not fueling the car, strapping in a driver, or putting ice in your cool suit, then you exit the hot pit. You do it in here. Okay? No other work, no tire pressures, you don't open the hood, you do nothing but fuel the car, strap a new guy in, give him some ice, and send him on his way. That is it. Anything else, you come into the paddock. Clear on that?
yes sir.
What it is. We used to let people have a little more freedom out there, and we actually had to stop a team from installing a transmission on the hot pit. And that's when all that went away. Okay, so the driver comes in, he comes down the hot pit. The speed limit on the hot pit, generally we have it set at 40 miles an hour, but this is a very dangerous hot pit. I don't like it. The speed limit on the hot pit this weekend is going to be 25 miles an hour, if we will enforce that. You come down the hot pit nice and slow. You find your people wherever they are. Pull in, kill switch off, driver out, cap off, fuel, cap on, new driver in. Okay? Alright. Any questions on fueling?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we should never put fuel in the car in the paddock ever.
You can put fuel in the car in the paddock when the track is cold. Like right now, you can. When the track is hot, that means from green till checkers tomorrow, 8 hours.
Okay.
Everything's on the hot pit.
So if we brought a drum full of a bunch of fuel, can we fill our cans in the paddock and then take them out to hot pit to fill the car?
You'll have to, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Somebody mentioned bringing wagons, all the stuff. Do we grab wagons out there?
Yep. We're going on this side of the wall. Don't take all the hot pit themselves. But yes, if you've got a wagon, drag your truck around. Here's the door, then go back. Yep.
We have to put this car up in here, we have to fill the paddock, like right here in the park.
Well, it depends on what you're doing. But chance it, just go to your paddock. So that if we let you check your oil right there, you have 20 teams checking your oil right there. Okay. So I mean, if you have to come in real quickly and adjust the mirror or change your battery case and go through or something, that's fine. But if it's going to take more than 30 seconds, go to your paddock. Okay. So fueling. Kill switch off, driver out. Then you start your fueling, cap off, dump the jugs, cap back on, strap in your new driver, put ice in, leave. Okay? Everybody's in full gear. When the jug touches the car, nobody else touches it, and no other work on the hot pit. Ice, fuel, driver. Clear? Alright, so now let's talk about getting on the track. Do you guys know how to get on the track here? Everybody seen the gates down there? They're right beside each other. One goes out, one comes in. If you're not familiar, go have a look. Now, before you are going to get on track tomorrow, there's 4 things that you're going to have. Yellow driver wristband. Make sure it's a 24 hours of LeMons driver wristband. We have had in the past, the practice day, used yellow wristbands. So at the driver meeting, when we said, make sure you have your yellow wristbands, make sure you got it from us. 24 hours of LeMons yellow wristband. You have to have that. You have to have an OK sticker on your helmet. That means your gear has been checked. You need the OK sticker on your windshield, upper left-hand corner for your car. And then you need a transponder. So make sure you have all 4 of those things before you come out to get on the track. You're not going to get on track. You can get on track without a transponder, but you're not to. Totally up to you. Wristband, helmet sticker, car sticker, transponder. Make sure you have all 4 of those things. And again, make sure you know where the track on and off is. If you guys have anybody that hasn't showed up yet, bring them down in the morning and show them where the track on and off is. Let them know how to get on and off there, okay? Okay, so the next thing is going to be strapping you or your driver into the car. Some of you may not be familiar with how 5-point or 6-point harnesses work. Basically, this is the most dangerous thing you can do to your fellow teammate is not strapping them in the car properly. For one thing, you need to make sure that your sub belt, that's the one that lives down here in your junk, only comes up to your junk. It doesn't come up here. When you hook all your belts up, your buckle should be right here, not up here. We check that all the time. Every car in the morning we will check. We'll check your wristbands, your helmet stickers, your Hondas, we'll check your belt, make sure that you're all right. If you come out here and your sub belt's up here, you're about to go back to your paddock and take your seat out to readjust your belt down to here where it's supposed to be before you go on the track. So make sure you got that right. Then you take your lap belts, you hook your lap belts in, hook your shoulder belts in, you tighten down the lap belts first, as tight as you can possibly get them. And then you tighten down your shoulder belts. If the belts are not painful, they're not tight enough. Let me reiterate that. If the belts are not hurting you, tighten them up until they are. Those belts are the only thing between you and spending the rest of your life as a vegetable. Because when you go out there and you barrel off into turn 3 at a high rate of speed, way more than you can carry through, and you roll out into the dirt sideways and you roll over and your belts are loose, you're going to pop off your shoulders, your head's going to go through the roof, and you're going to break your neck on the roll bar, and then the rest of your life, your family's going to be feeding you through a tube. Yeah. Your belts are very, very important. Your belts are the only thing keeping you safe. The roll cage is not really keeping you safe. The car itself is not really keeping you safe. Being strapped completely and thoroughly into the race car is what keeps you safe. Most of the time, you don't need those belts. But when you need them, if they're not tight, you could be dead. You could be a vegetable. Maybe you'll get lucky and just have a concussion. But strapping yourselves and your fellow racers into the car is the most important thing you can do. You need to know how to do that correctly, and you need to do it correctly every time. What you got to think about all the time, those belts are made of nylon. They're flexible. If you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing this, they're going to loosen up. They're going to get loose. About every 5 laps, you hit the long straightaway, you reach up there, and get a little tug. Tight. You have to do that. Okay? So strap your guys in tight before you send them out. If you love your teammates, hurt them. Strap them in there as tight as you possibly can. When you hear them go, that's when the belt's tight enough. Until you hear that sound, you're not doing your job. Strap them in there, make them tight. And then once you get out there, keep them tight, get a little snug every now and then. Yeah? Okay. And then, of course, you got to have your gloves, your Hans, your helmet. Make sure that you strap your helmets. You would be amazed how many times we catch people trying to get on track and there are a couple of things hanging down here that's not even connected. I got my Hans on. Make sure your helmet strap is connected. We've actually had corner workers call in. Car 37, I can see his helmet strap flapping out the window. Sure enough, we called him in. There's his helmet strap hanging down here. So make sure you get all that stuff right. All the safety equipment in the world is not going to do you any good if you don't use it correctly. So make sure you have all that stuff in there. And we do check them all the time. We look at you when you're driving through the paddock. We check you at the gate every time you go on the track. And if we see something wrong, we're going to send you back and fix it. So just do it right the first time. Don't waste your own time. Make sure your mirrors are adjusted. Make sure you can see everything. And for you first-time guys, really for everybody, but especially for you first-time guys, go out there with low expectations. Don't expect to go out there and dominate or even pass people or even be able to complete a lap on the line. There is no line in LeMons. We care nothing for the line. Don't put pressure on your teammates, especially you rookie guys that have never done this. You're going to suck. It's a simple fact. You have no skills and no experience. You're going to suck. And it's okay that you suck. Don't let your teammates, and teammates don't put pressure on your other teammates. They need to go out there, run a nice short stint. For your first stint, I recommend no more than 45 minutes. Half hour is even better. They need to go out there and run a half hour of nice, consistent, safe laps and bring the car back in one piece. That's all they need to do. They don't need to pass people. They don't need to make any positions. They don't need to set a fast lap. You need to go out there and complete your stint without crashing the car, without wrecking it, without breaking it, and without getting flagged. That is the only thing you need to do. You don't need to go fast. You don't need to set the fast lap. You don't need to pass nobody. You need to go out there and turn a few laps, get the monkey off your back, take a deep breath, calm down a little bit. You come in off your first stint and you didn't hit nobody, you didn't break the car, you didn't come to the penalty box, you fucking win. Simple as that. So go out there with low expectations and don't pressure your teammates. Someday you guys may be real racers. You're not yet, not even close. You have no idea how bad you are. It takes a long time to figure that out. But everybody has to figure that out on their own pace and their own time. And they will, or you'll find new teammates. Either way, pressuring them will do nothing but make them break your car or wreck themselves. That's all it's going to do. It's going to do them no good. Go faster. 10 minutes later, he's in the dirt. He's going to go faster. So, low expectations and no pressure, okay? You come back under your own power, not on the tow truck, and not come down here to see the judges, you win. Simple as that. Okay? Questions on any of that? Belts? Preparation? Track on off? Okay. So, that brings us to track etiquette, or how to play nice and stay out of Steve's penalty box. You really don't want to come to the business. It's a fun place to hang around, but when you're out there racing, that's where you should be. If you have to bring your race car to the penalty box, you are fucking. So, this is how you behave yourself and stay on the racetrack. First of all, you got to get your head right. Have low expectations. Don't listen to your teammates. Screw those guys. They're not the ones going to get in trouble. You run at your pace. You keep yourself out of trouble. First thing you need to do is you need to get your priorities in order. Now, I know most of you either have no idea what your priorities are, or you think your priorities are to drive fast. That is the last thing on the list. Your number one priority for every single lap is to never miss a flag station. You guys know what the flag stations are? There's little white boxes out there in like every corner that have people standing on them that have flags for arms. You seen those guys? Your number one job here is to turn laps and see every one of those boxes on every single lap. You have to do that. If you don't, you're going to pass under yellow. You're going to run into an oil slick or a crash car or a dust cloud or a huge pile of gravel. You're going to get in trouble. If you're not seeing every single flag stand on every single lap, you're going to get in trouble. Simple as that. Now here's how you avoid that. You go out there on the racetrack, you go into turn one, you brake, you turn, you come out of turn one. As you're accelerating, there's a flag stand in front of you you need to see after every single turn. Brake, turn, accelerate, flag stand. Say it with me. Brake, turn, accelerate, flag stand. Every turn of every lap. If you do that, within the first 20 minutes, the location of every one of those things is going to be burned into your brain. It's going to be part of your memory. When I come out of turn 3 and I check fourth gear, I need to look over there to that flag stand. Every single turn, every single lap. Okay? That's your number one job out here. If you're not doing that, you're going to endanger people, safety crews, corner workers, other drivers, yourself. You're going to end up in trouble. You're going to end up in the penalty box. And if we get calls for too many black flag or too many passing under yellows or unsafe maneuvers near safety vehicles, we're going to put you in the paddock. We might even put you on the trailer to send you home if you're having a bad attitude about it. Your number one job out there, every flag stand, every lap. Number one, no question. Okay? Number two, don't hit nothing. Other cars, walls, tires, trees, anything. This is a no-contact sport. This is not rubbing his racing. No contact. Very simple to do. I've run 60 plus of these races. I've had a couple contacts. None of them were my fault.
You might mention we get wildlife out on the track here too.
Yeah. So wildlife, yeah, nothing you can do. You can't swerve and point. But, you know, if it's a turtle, try to. Okay. So that's number two. Pure and simple. Don't hit anything. Nothing. Ever. Leave room. Be patient. Don't get so close to shit that you have to hit it. Don't hit nothing. Number three, control yourself. There are a lot of things go into controlling yourselves, and I won't get into all of them, but basically, control your vehicle, control yourself, control your testicles.
James, you listening?
Lift a little bit early. Really, the only place with these cars, with these amounts of horsepowers, The only place you can really get in trouble out here is going into the corner. If you lift a little early, you brake a little sooner than you should, and you control yourself going into the corner, you shouldn't have any problems. There's very few cars here that have enough power to spin themselves coming out of the corner. There are a few, but they're very experienced teams that are well driven for the most part. So, really, the only place you guys got to worry about is getting into the corner. Lift a little bit early, brake a little sooner than you should, get into the corner smoothly, and every time you do that, you will brake a little bit later, and you will get closer and closer to the maximum speed of that corner. But you have to work into that. You can't just go out there, balls off into turn one, slam hard on the brakes, and jerk it in. You don't have the experience, you don't know the track, you don't know the car, you don't know yourself, you don't know how to recover if you are carrying a little bit too much speed. So don't carry too much speed. It's as simple as that. If you lift 1 second earlier, and it's not every turn of every lap, there's probably only 3 turns out there that are really a problem on this track. If you're aware of those and you work your way up to the speed, you lift a little sooner than you should, you're going to calm down, you're going to have more confidence, you're going to trust your car, you're going to trust your brakes, you're going to trust your grip, and eventually you will be running through there at a good speed. But you can't go out there and just ball off first time out and run through there at maximum speed. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to spin out. Once you get into that turn, you're stuck with that speed. You can't get rid of it. Not without spinning out. That's how you get rid of speed. Once you carry too much into the turn, you get rid of that speed by leaving the racetrack or spinning the fuck out. That's the only way to get rid of it at that point. So leave a little bit on this side of the turn. Simple as that. Control your car, control your emotions, control your testicles. Leave a little bit on the racetrack. Okay? And then you go as fast as you possibly can while not breaking the Font 3 rules. Never miss a flag stand, don't hit anything, control yourself, and then go as fast as you possibly can while still maintaining those top 3. If you do that, you will do well at this. If you do not do that, you don't believe me, I'm full of shit. Go try it your way. I'll see you in here. And then I'll see you in the paddock. And then I'll see you on your trailer on the way home. Totally up to you. Try it your way. See what works out best. Okay. So those are your 4 and only priorities. Flag stands every turn, every lap. Don't hit nothing. Control yourself. Then go fast. Okay? Alright. Now, the keys to doing well in this. Number 1, situational awareness. That is simply being aware of your situation. Where you currently are on the racetrack, who is next to you, who is behind you, who is in front of you, how fast you're going, what gear you're in, what your oil temperature, what your water temperature. That is being aware of your situation. Now, if you are out there running on the ragged edge of control, you don't have time to be aware of your situation. You don't have time to check your mirrors and your gauges and keep your belts tight, do all the things that you need to do because you're barely on the edge of control. You're way too worried about the bumper of that car in front of you or about passing that jackass in the Jaguar. Well, I have no Jaguar shoes. Anyway, see what I'm saying? You cannot do well at this if you are not aware of your situation. If you're not checking your gauges, you're going to blow your car up. Simple as that. It takes half a lap. You blow a coolant hose and don't notice something. You punch a hole in your oil pan, you lose all your oil pressure. Half a lap. You're blown up. You're going home because you're too busy to look at a gauge every once a lap. Okay? You got to be aware of your situation. You got to check your mirrors. Most of you guys being rookies and being first timers and being in slow cars, you're going to spend as much time looking in your mirrors as you are looking out the windshield. And you have to do that. You have to see who's coming. You have to know the cars are behind you. You have to know what's going on. You have to watch your mirrors. You guys know about hand signals? There's basically only 2 signals you need to know here. Go around me, and that works with either arm. If you want them to go this way, you use this arm. If you want them to go that way, you use this arm. That's called a point by. Get used to doing that. Go away. You're watching your mirrors. Go away. Leave me alone. Let them go away. They're faster than you. That's why they're right up your ass. Let them go. If you're watching your mirrors, you will see them. You'll give them a hand signal. They'll go away, and they won't give you. You won't slow them down. They won't slow you down. There won't be any issue. The other hand signal, I'm leaving the track. This is for exiting onto the hot pit. You get to the outside edge of the track here, that would be your far left. You get as far to that as you can, you put this out the window. That lets everybody know that you are being slow and you are leaving the track, so they don't try to pass you. Yeah. I mean, watch your mirrors. If you're watching your mirrors and you're aware, you're going to know if people are behind you or not. But just get in the habit of doing that. When you're leaving the track, you know you're leaving the track. A couple turns early, slow down a little bit, get to the outside of the edge, outside of the groove, fist out the window, let people know you're doing something unusual. Yeah? Point by, I'm leaving the track. That's really all you need to know. Occasionally you got to break this out, but only occasionally. Check your gauges. Check your flag stands, look down the racetrack, check your mirrors. This is all about looking. Check your gauges, check your mirrors, look far down the racetrack. A lot of times you can see things developing in front of you, and if you notice them early, you can avoid getting caught up in that situation if you're simply looking down the track far. Now, of course, don't look down the track as opposed to looking at the car right beside you, but when you have time and everything else, you check your gauges, belts are tight, there's nobody up your ass. Look down the track. Once you get comfortable doing this, when I'm out there, I'm looking across the track at flag stands 5 turns away. So I know what's going on when I get there. If I've got everything else done, I've checked my gauges, my belts are tight, there's nobody up my ass, I'm in the right gear, I'm hauling ass, I'm looking across the track to that flag stand over there, because if they're waving yellow, I need to know that. I need to know that before I get there, so I don't get caught up in the same thing that brought the yellow out to begin with. Look down as far down the track as you can once everything else is done close to you. Yeah. So, situation awareness, very, very, very important. If you want to do well at this, you have to be very aware of your situation. You got to be able to keep track of all those things. And then I said it before, I'll say it again, patience. This is a long, long race, all day and all day tomorrow. You got plenty of time. You don't have to make up 10 seconds a lap, this lap. Those 10 seconds ain't going to bother you one way or the other when it all washes down the lane. So, patience, incredibly important. You have to do it. You have to. If you can't be patient, you're not going to do well at this. Go buy a Camaro and go to the local dirt track. That's where you belong. That's where people with no patience race. That's not what we do. Be patient when you're passing. If for some reason, God forbid, that you guys are fast enough to actually pass people this weekend, don't get too excited when you get up behind their bumper. Just because you're right behind them doesn't mean that you're going to pass them immediately. It may take you half a lap, it may take you 3 or 4 laps, it may take you the rest of the day to pass that guy if he's just a little bit faster than you or just a little bit slower than you. So you have to be patient, you have to pick your battles. If you are faster than a guy and you come up on his butt, and if you're not absolutely sure that he sees you, he's going to go for that apex at that next turn. So don't jump around him and try to outbrake him down. That's called a dive bomb. We don't do that here. People do, but you end up in the penalty box. You do it too many times. So if you're faster, just a little bit faster than that guy, you come up behind him, be a little patient, follow him through a turn or two. Maybe he sees you, maybe he's going to give you a point by, but don't assume that he sees you. Because chances are he doesn't. He hasn't looked at his rear in 10 laps. He has no idea where he is. He's barely hanging on because he's trying to go really fast and he's not paying attention to what he's supposed to be paying attention to. Do not assume that that guy sees you. So wait until you are in a place where there's absolutely no question. You come out onto a long straightaway, pull out and go around it. Don't dive bomb him going into the corner. He's not going to see you. He's going to turn right into you, and then both of you are going to have damaged race cars, and you're going to be in the penalty box. It ain't worth it. If you got to follow him for a lap or 2 to get by him safely, if you give up 5 seconds a lap for every one of those laps, it's not going to make up for even exiting the track to come in for your penalty, much less actually serving your penalty. If you have to leave those 5 seconds out there for 10 laps, not even going to come close to making up for your first flag, and they get worse and worse as they go. It's not worth it. Patience. Pick your battles. Okay? The other thing is respect. Respect the danger you're putting yourself in. It is a dangerous thing. We're running high speeds, very close to other people, dangerous situations. You got to be aware of that. It ain't all fun and games. It is dangerous. People do get hurt. Respect the danger. Respect the rules. We have very simple rules here. We want to see all of you guys having a good time, but we do enforce the rules. Don't call me ball buster for nothing. We got big feet. We'll put them in your ass. We'll put you on the trailer and we'll send you home. We don't want to. We want you guys here. We want you racing. We want you having fun. We want you getting all your money's worth. But if you're endangering everybody else that are doing those things, you're going to be out of here with a quickness. Guaranteed. And then respect your fellow competitors. Look around you. These are the guys you're going to be racing with tomorrow. It's not some nameless, faceless douchebag out on I-10. It's these people right here. We're all good people, right? Yeah. We like to have fun. We want to be safe. Respect your fellow competitors. That plays a huge part in getting around the track out there. If you guys are out there playing nice, checking your mirrors, giving your point buys, letting guys go, staying out of the way when you're slow, things like that, everybody's weekend is much better. There's no anger, there's no red mist, there's no damaged race cars, there's no bullshit. We're here to have some fun, and we do a little racing on the side. If you're not up with that, all right, so when you do get out on the racetrack and you're out there turning your laps, chances are at some point you're going to find yourself in some type of trouble. Trouble can be self-inflicted, when I think about control. Trouble can also be mechanical. Trouble can be other people on the racetrack. Trouble can be lots of different things, but you have to be prepared for trouble and you need to know what to do if you find yourself in trouble. Controlling yourself, if you do carry a little bit too much speed into turn 3 and you're sliding sideways out of control, let the car drive itself off the track. Let go of the wheel. A lot of times, this is going to probably, you may believe me or not, most race cars that I've driven, when you're all crazy sideways, if you just let go of the wheel, the car straightens itself out. It does, I swear. I don't know why, but it does. So don't fight the car. Once you've lost control and you're sliding sideways and you're trying to fight it, chances are you're not going to make it. The chances are more likely you're going to slide off the track sideways, your wheels are going to dig in, you're going to roll over. Your race car's ruined, you were banned from LeMons racing for an entire year, and all your teammates are going home. If you find yourself in trouble, drive it straight off the track. Never go off the track sideways. It's the worst thing you can do. Okay? So, if you get in there, you're a little crazy, you're trying to fight it, don't fight it, let the wheel go, it'll straighten itself out, drive it straight off the track. And maybe it doesn't even leave the track. You just let the wheel go and it straightens itself out and you keep going. Bonus. But do not go off the track sideways out of control. That's the worst thing you can do. Once you carry too much speed in that turn, you've lost control, you're not getting it back. It's very, very unlikely with your skill set, your experience, that you're going to get that back. Just drive it straight off the track. It's the best thing to do. Okay? All right. And then mechanical issues, mechanical trouble. This is the second most likely thing you are to find yourself is mechanical issues. Mainly we're talking about exploding engines, things like that. If you have some type of mechanical issue, bring it to the paddock and fix it. It's not going to fix itself. Limping around out there running on 3 cylinders with oil spewing up the windshield is not going to help anybody. It's going to blow up and it's going to make a hell of a mess on the racetrack, and then we're not going to like you anymore. Don't mess up the racetrack. For us, for the rest of the people here, if you have mechanical issues, bring it in and fix it. Now, if you're cruising along out there and all of a sudden your engine just goes, blah, get off the racetrack. Immediately into the dirt, please. Let all your fluids go into the dirt and the grass, not on the racetrack. Again, you're ruining it for all of us. If your car blows up, get it off the track immediately. If you lose control, drive it off the track in a straight line. Key here is get it off the track, okay? Don't make a mess out there that's going to take half an hour to an hour to pull up, and then we're still going to have slick spots out there for the rest of the weekend. It's not worth it. The car's not running right. You got to bring it in and fix it. If it blows up, get it off the track as quickly as possible. Okay?
Driving under caution sucks.
It does, it does. Red flags suck even more. All right? So, another thing with that, we had a situation actually earlier this year where we had somebody driving on the track and their car was spitting and sputtering. They were going incredibly slow, went over a blind curve, big pack of cars comes, and they get rear-ended at 80 miles an hour. 2 cars completely destroyed. 1 car rolled over, driver banned for a year. Wasn't worth it. Not worth it at all. Oh, I just want to finish this lap. Screw you, get off the racetrack. Go fix your piece of shit and then come back and race. If you're out there spluttering around at 30 miles an hour, you are nothing but a danger to all of us. Get it off the track, okay? All right. And then the only other thing you need to know about trouble on the track, if you do blow up your car or you drive yourself off the track, if the car's running, say you just lose control, you end up in the dirt, car's running, driving back, just come see us. We're going to be here waiting on you. We know you screwed up. If it is dead on the track, stay in your car. If you just spin out and the car won't re-crank, stay in your car. There is one reason and one reason only you are ever to leave your race car on the racetrack: flames. If your car's on fire, get the hell out. Other than that, stay in your car. We will come get you. Okay? You may be there a while. Sometimes we have 3 cars broken down different sides of the track, so you might be out there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. Be patient. We're coming. We'll get you eventually. Stay in your car unless it's on fire. Okay? Questions on that? Yep.
Do not loosen your belts. Do not take off your helmet. Pretend like you're still driving.
Yep. That's when you're broken down out there. Stay in your car, stay strapped in, keep your helmet on. You don't know some jackass is going to come around the turn behind you, lose control, and slam into you. It's going to happen. So, stay in the car, stay strapped up, just like you're racing. All right? Any other questions on track etiquette? Yep.
If we're making a pass, is it still the responsibility of the person making the pass to make a safe pass?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much given in all forms of motorsports, even with us. I mean, that really is your job. That's why you got to be patient. If you're the guy passing, you got to be patient and pick your battles. I mean, if you have contact with that other car, you're both going to get flagged. But then, you know, depending on the situation, if it's clear that it was your fault, you're going to be punished worse than the other team. I'm going to say, yeah, that guy's a jackass. He says he's sorry. You can go. And then we're going to have a nice long talk.
Now, if we have a car gets resistant and spins the car off track, doesn't hit anything, doesn't go off the track, it's easy to come back and get a tuck.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're going to get to that. We'll get the penalties. That's the next section after this section. So, flagging. Flags. Those people that live in the little boxes out there that have flags for arms.
The ones we look at every turn after we pick a gear.
Those are the ones. So, we use a very simple flagging system here in LeMons. There's only 5 flags you ever need to worry about. Green means go. Go. Red means stop. Red does not mean come to a screeching halt on the racetrack as soon as you see it. Red means slow down, get to the edge of the racetrack, drive safely to the next corner station if you can get to one without passing the incident. If we have a red flag, we have a very massive situation. We have either had massive engine explosion and there's parts and oil and stuff all over the track. Somebody's on fire. Somebody is about to be ambulanced off the track. Red flag is a very serious situation. If you see the red flag come out, you slow down, get to the edge of the racetrack, drive to the nearest corner station and wait for instructions. Stop your car, shut it off, sit and wait for instructions. If you cannot get to the next corner station without driving through the incident, you stay on this side of the incident. Don't go in the mess. Don't get near the flaming car. Stop on this side of it, okay? Come to a nice controlled stop near the corner station, sit there and wait for them to tell you what to do, okay? So that's red. And then the white flag. White flag does not mean 1 lap to go. And it does not mean that the corner workers are surrendering to your awesomeness. It means there is a slow vehicle on the racetrack. Now, most likely that is a safety vehicle, tow truck, ambulance, track crew of some kind. It could actually be another race car. Could be if they're going especially slow. Sometimes the corner workers will throw the white flag out there just to let you know. But when you see a white flag, it means there is a slow-moving vehicle in front of you. Chances are it's a safety vehicle. Now the white flag will move along with the vehicle. It will come out just as they pass. They will wait until they go, or as they're approaching the corner station, the white will come out, it'll pass. As they get out of sight, they will take that white flag away. If you see the white flag, you're allowed to pass. You don't have to bunch up behind that slow vehicle. What you do need to do is eyes up, find the slow vehicle, drive around it in a single file line, and then go back to racing. Don't bunch up behind it, but don't pass some jackass in an E30 side by side with the tow truck. You see the white flag, you recognize the vehicle. As you approach the vehicle, you get in a single file line, you drive by that vehicle safely, and then you go back to doing your racing. Okay? Clear on that? And then yellow flag. There's two forms of yellow flag. A single waving yellow is local caution for that section of the track only. A double yellow, two yellow flags at the corner station, means the whole track is under caution. So when you go under caution, whether it be local or full track, you slow down, single file line behind the guy in front of you, and you follow him at whatever pace he runs until they lift the yellow. If it's a local, you're under control of that from the corner station that's showing the first one until past the incident. The incident is probably the burning hulk of car on the side of the track, or the broken down whatever, the ambulance, the tow truck. Once you are safely single file past them, then you go back to racing. If it's a full course, then you're under full course all the way around until they lift them all the way. When all the flags go away, they'll show the green at start finish, but that is it. Green only ever shows at start finish. So if you're out on the back side of the track and you're under full course caution, and you see the corner workers pull both those flags back into the box, the green just came out. Go. Okay? So those are the yellows. Single, local, from the station till past the incident. Doubles, full course. Okay? And then the last one, everybody's favorite, the black flag. You will get black flag for breaking the rules. You will also get black flag if we suspect you have some mechanical issue, if you are smoking excessively, if you are leaking any type of fluids, if you are doing something completely unsafe. But mostly your black flags come from losing control of yourself, hitting things, passing under yellow, which means you didn't see that corner worker. Those are the common ones.
What about the texting?
Look.
Texting? Can we do the texting tonight, or do we just have to do voices?
Leave me alone, man, I'm working. Those are the common things. Hitting things, passing under yellow, leaving the racetrack. Those are the things that you're generally going to get flagged for. When you screw up out there, if you spin out, if you leave the racetrack, if you hit somebody, come see us right here. We're going to get you. You might as well come see us right now and don't make us chase you. That is called self-reporting. If you come in here and I say, why are you here? And you say, well, I lost a little control, turned 3 and went out in the dirt. I say, okay, well, I appreciate you coming in. Quit doing that. Go away. If we have to chase you down, and we have to make multiple radio calls, and we have to have people flag you and put your number up on the little board, then we're going to bust your balls. If you self-report, if you screw up, you know it, come see us. We'll be easy on you. If we have to chase you down, you're going to pay the full price of the penalty. Self-report. It's the best thing to do. When you screw up, you're going to get a black flag. That means you need to come here. Come see us. It might be mechanical. Maybe you didn't mess up. Maybe there's something dragging under your car. Maybe you're leaking massive amounts of fuel and you just don't know it. So it could be mechanical. Don't automatically assume that you were in some kind of trouble, but mostly you will be.
Is that the hot pit?
No, that's right here. So tomorrow, we're going to have guys standing right here where you're sitting, and you guys are going to drive in. You're going to pull up here. We're going to talk to you. And then, depending on the situation, we're either going to send you back to the track, we're going to send you to your paddock spot, or we're going to impound you over there against that wall, depending on the situation and how many flags you already have. The self-reports don't count against you. If we don't have to chase you down, we don't have to make calls and send stuff through on the computer, write it down, there's no record of that. It didn't happen. If we have to chase you, it goes to the book. So when you see the black flags, listen.
Surface? Surface flag?
No, we don't do that. I'm going to mention it, but no, we don't use it. Black flag, again, there's two forms. If you see a single black flag waved at you in an angry manner, that means you screwed up. Come here. If you see a black flag at every station, that means the track is broken. And we need everybody off the track. If you see black flags at every station, slow down, single file, exit the track, go to your paddock and wait for instruction. Okay? Single black flag waved at you means you screwed up, come to the penalty box. Black flags at every station means the track is broken, everybody go home. Go to your paddock and wait. Okay?
Can you fuel during the black flag?
Well, once we get everybody off the track will be cool. But there will still be no fueling unless we make that announcement. Now here's the thing. It is incredibly rare that we have even a red flag, much less an all black. I've seen it 3 times, 4 times, maybe a little more than that, but not very often, especially all black. I think I've seen all black twice in 65 races. So it doesn't happen very often, but if it does, you need to be aware, you need to know what to do. If you see a black flag at every station, go to your back. So those are the 5 flags we use. Now, very good corner workers who have experience in other series, like this lovely lady here, may throw a couple of other flags at you occasionally. One of them is a blue with a yellow stripe. That means there's a race going on and you're not in it. Totally ignore that one. When they throw that one at me, I'll throw something back at them. Another one that you probably should be aware of, and that they bring out quite a bit, and it's actually kind of useful, is a red and yellow stripe. Looks like a candy cane, but it's yellow. Red and yellow stripes mean there's stuff on the track. It could be gravel, it could be mud, it could be a bumper of a 73 Volkswagen Beetle. But there's something on the track just in front of you you need to be aware of. So if you see the red with yellow stripes, shit on the track. Everything else is important. Okay, questions on flags? Green, go. Red, controlled stop here, corner worker. White, slow vehicle on the track, find it, single file, pass it, go back to racing. Single yellow, local, from the station to the incident. Double yellow, full course, wait until they are removed or until green comes out, that's not finished. And then single black flag at you, come to the penalty box, black flag at every station, exit track, go to your path. Questions on that? Yep.
Just race until the sun goes down, or there is a checker?
No, there'll be a checker. Okay. I figured you all knew about checkers. Thanks for leaving that one out. No, we do throw checkers in. Okay. So that's the flagging system. Very simple. That's what they mean. That's what you do when you see them. Yeah? Questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, so one last section. We'll get you guys out of here. Penalties. Now we've already talked. Penalties, we've already talked about the common ones, passing under yellow, contact, wheels off. Wheels off means you left the racing surface. And that can be 1 wheel, 2 wheels, 3 wheels, 4 wheels, I've done them all. 3 wheels off is really fun. Spinning out, even if you don't leave the track. Spinning in the track, fueling in traction. Let's talk about fueling in traction. When you do your fueling and you break the rules, you are parked for 2 hours. There's no argument, there's no grace period, there's no nothing. Fueling the car is the most dangerous thing you're going to do all weekend. It's the one thing we care most about, the one thing we will bust your balls for the worst. You screwed up, you you know, if you're out there and your visor's up, we're just going to scream at you and say, put your visor down, you moron! But if you're doing some seriously stupid shit, you're parked for 2 hours. No question, no reprieve, no matter how many flags you have, don't care. 2 hours. Pay attention to the fueling rules, do it right. The one call that you definitely do not want us to get ever is unsafe movements near safety vehicles. Those guys are out there risking their lives so that you can do this stupid shit. You respect that, and you be damn cautious around every safety vehicle you see. Okay? We don't want to see that. It happens, but we don't want to see it. So when you get penalties, black flags, when you pass under yellow or you hit things or you run off track, those will accumulate as the day goes on. Again, if you self-report, we won't write them down, give you a little freebie. The first time you get a flag, we simply ask you why, we give you some good advice about what not to do next time, and we send you right back on the racetrack. Pure and simple. We'll give you one freebie. Call it a mulligan.
Is this a team freebie or per
Team.
driver?
This is per team. The only thing that is driver specific here is speeding in the paddock. That is it. That is the only thing. Everything else, you put them on your team, your problem. So the second flag is going to be a bit longer. We're probably going to park you over there in the impound against the wall. We're going to call your whole team down, and we're going to get to the bottom of why you already have 2 flags in the book. And then we're going to let you decide if you want to go back out immediately or if you want to sit for a while. And then your third flag, you're parked for an hour minimum. Depending on the situation, it could be longer. But it's at least an hour park. Your fourth flag, if you get a fourth flag, is 3 hours, or most likely the end of the day. If you rack up 4 flags in the first half day, you're just done. You're going to the trailer. You're going to sit around your thumb in your butt the rest of the day and think about all these things that I've been talking about for the last hour. That's what you're going to be doing. And then the 5th flag, which never ever happens because usually we park you on the 4th one and then that's the problem. But if for some godly reason you were able to rack up 5 flags, you're on the trailer, you're going home. No matter what day it is, no matter who you are, you're going home. But that rarely ever happens. But here's the thing. If you do all the things that I've told you to do, and you are not too greedy to leave a few seconds out there, even if you leave 5 seconds a lap out there, every single lap, all day long, it's not going to make up for 1 flag. Not 1. The second one, forget it. We could race all week long. You are never going to make up for 2 flags. Never. 3, no way. Now you're 3, you're just going to be sitting in the paddock getting angry. Because there's nothing else you can do. But it is very possible. There have been many teams that have run race after race after race after race and never got a flag. There's individuals that have run 20, 30 races as an individual and never got a flag to their name. There are teams that do it race after race after race. Never. They never get flags. They never miss a corner station. They never hit nobody. They don't run off track. They don't lose control of themselves. They're aware of their situation. They go out there, they run lap after lap after lap of nice, smart racing, and they go home without ever getting a flag. And everybody can do it. Most people just aren't willing to. Now, can you do it your first race out? Hell yes, you can. The last race we had 14 rookie teams. The first day, after they sat through my meeting, 7 of those 14 didn't get a single flag all day. Not all day. Sunday, 5 of those original 7 didn't get a flag on Sunday. So 5 of those teams went through their whole first weekend with no experience and never got a single flag because they did what I told them to do. They were patient, they were aware of their situations, they were respectful to the other competitors, they did the right things. You can do it too. You absolutely can. I've run over 60 of these races in every type of car you can imagine. I have 7 black flags in 65 races. And only one of those was really my fault. Okay, maybe 2. So, it is possible to do. It is very, very possible. There are people probably right here, maybe even here with us right now, that have run 20 races and never got a flag. Very easy to do. But if you are unable to do that, then that's your alternative. You can go out there and be patient, be smart, and stay on the racetrack, or you can get flagged, you can get talked to, you can get impounded, you can get parked, you can get sent home. Totally up to you. Your choice. No matter what happens, everybody's at fault here. If you have contact with another car, you're just as much at fault as they are. If you'd have been watching their mirrors, and if you'd have seen that guy coming, you could have pointed him by and he wouldn't have dive bombed you and bounced off your door. Everybody's at fault, no matter what happens. Your entire team is at fault, no matter what happens, except for speeding in the paddock. That's a personal thing. When you do get a flag and you come to the penalty box, just be honest with us. Don't give us a bunch of bullshit. Don't give us a bunch of excuses and, well, oh, my tires are getting worn. It wasn't your freaking tires. It was you. We don't want to hear your bullshit excuses. I want to hear completely the truth of what happened to you. And I will help you. I will give you some advice as to not to do that the next time you find yourself in that situation. That's all I want to do. I want to help you guys stay out of trouble and stay out there so that I can sit around in here and talk shit with my buddies all weekend. That's my goal. You can make me happy by staying out there, which is where you want to be anyway. So trust me when I tell you, that's all I want. I want you guys to do well. I want you to get your money's worth. I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy yourselves. And I want you out there turning laps, not in here crowding up my parking lot. Okay? And that's the whole thing about this. When you come in, just be honest with us. We want to help you. We want to get you back out there. The things you don't want to do, you don't want to argue with us. You don't want to be pissed. You don't want to be red misty. You don't want to come in here and all open your fist. And if we think you are anywhere near pissed off, road raging, we're going to pull you out of the car. We're going to pull your wristband. We're going to send you back in the pack and think about it. If you come back later with a good enough excuse while you were all being pissy, then we might give you your wristband back, so don't count on it. No attitude here. No bullshit. You're not going to argue with us. You're never going to win. We don't even give you a chance to argue. So don't even think about arguing.
It's not a really creative story.
Come in, be honest with us. We will give you some good advice. We'll send you back out there and hopefully you'll do better next time. So, your motivation to do well, to obey the rules, and to stay out of trouble. Very simple. All the time and money you put into this. Everybody else did the same thing. There's your motivation. Number 2, GoPro cameras. Every car out there is bristling with GoPros like a fucking porcupine. Every stupid mistake you made will be blasted onto the internet by the end of the day. It will. It will. Think about that when you're going to dive bomb that dude. He's got a camera. It's probably aiming straight at you. You're going to be internet famous by the end of the day. And a little more motivation if you need it. Me. Part of my job is on-track supervision. I will be out there this weekend. You don't know when. You don't know what car I'll be driving. But I'll be out there. You dive bomb me, we're going to have a nice long talk. So, if your own money and time and effort was not enough motivation, think about those other things before you dive bomb that dude. He's got a camera. You're going to be seen. And it might be me. You don't want to dive bomb him, trust me. Okay, questions? About anything, last section.
This is going to be fun, right?
Okay. Questions? Anything? Fueling, flagging? There's 57. It's a good crowd for a first time here.
It sounds like a meeting. There is no line.
There is no line. In a LeMons race period, there's no line.
That's very different.
There's a line out there, but it doesn't belong to you. Yeah. It's not very different from racing. It's just slightly crooked. Exactly. It's all about patience. All right. Questions? Anybody? Anybody at all? Huh? You may walk the track. All right. Any other questions, Jeff? Oh, you can. It's you in the morning, driver dismissed. All right, guys. Thank you. Be patient.